I know what you're all thinking. Racist. No, the sad truth is that when you start losing your hair, there's only really 3 options for haircuts. You can go with the Donald Trump, Krusty the Clown, or guy who hates Jews. But when I complain about it, my friends always give me a hard time. They say I shouldn't complain, that I've got a really nice shaped head for it. I'm lucky. And I think they have an odd definition of the word lucky. Sort of, oh, Bobby, I'm sorry you lost that arm, but that stump is breathtaking. Stumps. So pirates, it's always been my belief that pirates only became pirates because there were no other jobs for amputees at the time. I mean, otherwise I challenge you to come up with a reason why there were so many peg legs and hook hands. It must have just been like, Jeffrey, you've been a fine footman, but now you have no feet. You disgust me. And then Jeffrey would hobble off to the Agency for Amputee Rehabilitation and Reemployment, or ARR for short. But pirates are interesting to me for a couple other reasons. They were the first business to put a warning label on their dangerous product. The skull and crossbones hanging from the flagpole. Sure, we may kill you, but we really think you're going to like our product. They also have the same business plan as dogs. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna bury it. They also had very interesting and colorful names. Redbeard the pirate, Blackbeard the pirate, Bluebeard the pirate, Captain Hitler Mustache. He was ahead of his time. But that must have made it really easy to just sort of jump into the pirate game on somebody else's reputation. You know, just get some buddies together, get a boat, head out on the high seas, first ship you see. Prepare to be boarded. I'm Redbeard the pirate. Really? Prove it. Huh? Look at that. He's right, it's red. Give him the boat. But you have to respect pirates, though, because they actually, you know, took whatever they wanted. It was at least, there was an ethic to it. It was, we need this, we're going to take this. But today's thieves are always out stealing things they don't even want so they can sell it to buy things. You know, if I want some chocolate chip cookies, I don't bake a batch of oatmeal raisin and then sell it so that I can buy chocolate chip cookies. I worry about kids today because of the cliche things that we tell them as they're growing up. We tell them they can be whatever they want, but at the same time we tell them they are what they eat. And I'm worried this will lead to children eating presidents. There's also, you know, there's children not eating anything out there. You see the Sally Struthers things, the children in Africa who for pennies a day, their hearts could be bursting with joy. And if their hearts are going to burst, I really don't think I should be giving. I don't want to contribute to that. I was at work a little while ago and I saw this flyer for a pet adoption fair at the La Brea Tar Pits. And I thought it was the most passive-aggressive thing I'd ever seen. Sort of, we really think you're going to like these animals, but if not, some scientist in the future probably will. People like puppies a lot. I think puppies are disgusting. I'll tell you why. I know you think they're cute, but puppies are disgusting because they were just inside of a dog. I don't care how cute anything else is. You think that your boyfriend is cute. What if I told you he'd just been inside of a dog? That would change your opinion, I wager. Now, I was going to tell you a joke about penguin rape, but I'm not going to because it's not funny. They only have those little flippers and they can't defend themselves. Everybody talks about the iPhone apps that they love, like Offender Finder, which tells you where in your neighborhood all the sexual predators live. Yeah. And I think that's sort of cheating. You know, as a kid, when I went on sexual predator scavenger hunts, half the fun was in, you know, tempting them into revealing themselves by wearing provocative clothes and saddle shoes. There was a story in the paper a couple months ago about all these bodies being recovered from the house of a rapist. 13th body recovered from the house of a rapist. Really? We're still calling him rapist? What sort of world do we live in where you're only known by the last bad thing you did? I mean, in World War II, you didn't see, somebody running into the camp. Commander, Commander, we found these camps. These people, they're emaciated. They've been imprisoned. We think that failed artist might be responsible. People with glass eyes shouldn't throw stones, says they have no depth perception. I've always thought it was weird that astronauts have to wear uniforms. I mean, are you ever on the International Space Station and you run into somebody you're not sure whether or not they work there? I like words a lot. Words are kind of my thing. But sometimes the words don't mean what I think they ought to mean. Like, ostracized is a great word, to be cut off from the group. But shouldn't it really mean to be turned into an ostrich? I'll use it in a sentence. The witch turned Jeff into a newt. Jimmy, she ostracized. Widower is another favorite of mine, but it's always sort of bothered me, because usually when you put an ER at the end of something, that means it's something to a greater extent then. Like a woman with a lot of dead husbands. It could also be a midget with a speech impediment describing someone shorter than himself. Sure, I'm short, but Paul is even widower. But mostly to me, it sounds like a really bad 80s action movie. The Widower. It's the story of a hard-edged cop whose wife dies, and instead of seeking vengeance, he's just sad. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the widower. Who's going to cook for me now? Bipolar. Sometimes you're an Eskimo, but you also like dudes. Efficient. Efficient, when a fish is well organized. Coefficient, when two fish are well organized on a plate with chips. Insufficient, when there isn't enough tartar sauce. Ruthless has always been a favorite of mine, without Ruth. Is anyone here named Ruth? You as an audience are ruthless! Circumspect, which means to be watchful or wary, or to check for foreskin. We circumspected him. He was Jewish. Okay, so I have this friend on Facebook that I went to college with, who since college has become a lesbian, which is great. That's super, but her status updates are so militantly feminist and lesbian that it stopped making sense. Like last year, there was, when the Amelia Earhart movie was coming out, she had this update that said, Amelia Earhart flew planes before there were parachutes. We could all learn something from her. First of all, not even a little true. Parachutes were first conceptualized in the late 1400s and invented in the late 1700s. First jump from a plane was in 1910. But let's assume, for the sake of argument, that she had flown before there were parachutes. That doesn't imply any extra bravery to not use something that doesn't exist. We don't get down on cavemen and it's like, boy, that caveman was a real extra idiot, because he didn't take a gun to that mammoth hunt. Or being out in the woods and seeing two bears mating and saying, wow, I can't believe they're not using a condom. Doesn't he even care about bear AIDS? Of course, bear AIDS is God's punishment for the stealing of picnic baskets. Anyway, I would just sort of prefer that if I'm going to be subjected to lesbian status updates, they were more along the lines of, totally working this stripper's nipples right now. It's not too much to ask. I think I'll leave you with this. There was a sign in the Burbank Public Library last year. I moved from Burbank since then, so I don't know if it's still there. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. I'm back with a story about a sign. And the sign was huge, a big banner stretched across the lawn in big, bright red letters that said, "Learn to read." And I was unsure who their target audience was. Sort of like yelling at a deaf person. In a mocking way. Anyway, I'm Jeremy Anderson. Thank you very much.